Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, guys. Happy birthday to my sister, Laura.
Happy birthday, Mom.
I know. It's her birthday today, so we're going to celebrate later. Good morning. We're waiting for people to come on. And today we get to paint. Hi. How are you guys doing?
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Mrs. Ulmer. Good morning. Are you ready to paint, Mrs. Ulmer? We're going to wait for people. Come on. I'm so excited to paint today. I was just saying it's my sister's birthday. So, yeah, we're excited about that. Let's go ahead. Good morning, the Prezes, of course. Did you guys get your paintbrushes? I hope you did. My mom was also saying that you could dip, and I'll show you guys how to do that, because today we're painting. I love to paint. I'm going to teach you about loading your brushes today, too, and that's really important when you paint. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Nani.
How are you guys doing? Let's go ahead and do the pledge real quick, Lindsay. Get that out of the way, and then we'll get started. All right, here we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So we are going to paint our Pete Cromer cockatoo today, or cockatiel, or whatever it is. And I did not figure out the heart symbol yet. I have not done that. I had a busy day yesterday.
Hi, guys.
Hi, we ran around for the birthday girl too yesterday, so we were getting lots of things done. Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited that you're here and that you're ready to paint with us. Nobody messaged me, so I hope we're all good on paints. All right, I'm going to read some of these things. They're saying hi.
Hi, Pedens.
Hi, Pedens. Hi, Lindsay. Oh, that's from Michelle. Hi, guys. Good morning. Okay, so you got your paint? Good. You got your paint, Mrs. Ulmer? Yes. Awesome. Yay. All right, so watercolor can be really, really, really tricky. But in this session, it's not going to be that difficult because we're going to make it super easy. You know, why not? All right, so I've just got a, hold on. What does it say? Rotate your, there we go. Okay, so I've got one of my pieces from yesterday, and I want you guys to go ahead and get the second one that we drew, and I'm going to wait for you guys. So you're going to need water. All right.
Face it more like, oh, it looks good. Never mind.
Does that look good? Okay. You're going to need water. You're going to need paper towels or something to dab with. If you don't, like if you're low on paper towels, you could get a sponge that's kind of moist. Don't have it wet, but a little bit moist. And what a word, moist. Oh, Miss Meyer said the moist word. I know, everybody's so against moist. So you can put your paintbrush in the water. Also, if you are using Crayola, Lindsay, will you get me a darker color of Crayola? I want to show you. My mom said that if you guys, you know, didn't have a chance, you could take your Crayola, like purple would be good, and red, yeah. So, for painting with Crayola, you could dip it in first, like this, and then, oh, that does work much better, Mom. Good job. My mom was saying that. Yes, that looks much better when you dip it in water. And then, but color mixing could be a problem, and that's the whole idea of this, is we want to color mix, but that works really pretty well.
Maybe if you let them soak for a little bit longer, like
yeah, in the water. But still, that's a pretty wash. So when we're talking about watercolor is like based on washes, and a wash is just one layer. So when I say I'm going to do a wash with watercolor, that's one layer. So our whole thing is that we want to mix colors so that we can get this beautiful, like, ombre kind of effect that people are calling this now. But for me, really, it's analogous.
Tie-dye effect as well.
Yeah, or tie-dye effect. Good answer. Good. Yeah, any way you want to call it. But we want, like, these analogous or analogous feelings where we're mixing two primaries and they make a secondary color, and then that secondary color makes that triad color, so that you've got like your red oranges and your yellow oranges, and then like your blues with your yellows, and that makes a, you know, blue green and a yellow green. And then, you know, we could do one monochromatic where we do just the value, and the value is like dark to light. Lindsay, can you get on your phone and get a value scale? just do like a red value scale so people can see what I'm talking about. So value is an element of art. And so the stronger the pigment or the darker the pigment, the stronger the value. And then the lighter the pigment or the lighter the color, that is the lightest. That's not really what I want. I want like a value scale. Type in, that's perfect. So Lindsay has this on her phone. I'm going to zoom that in. So this is like a monochromatic color scheme of red. And you can see it's like got its palest pink. Remember, pink is a tint of red. And then you've got like this rosy pink, hot pink reds down to your deep maroons and your blackish red or brickish looking red, what we call them. It's just names that we call them. And that is a value scale right there. So if you can see that, that is a value scale of red, a primary color, okay? So in one of these, or in two of these, we're gonna use analogous colors, and then we're to create our triad or colors right there, and then we're gonna use the value scale to create one color, and you guys get a pick. So let's go ahead, without further ado, let's get started. So if you have your paints, I just want you using your primary colors right now. So I just got this Prang or this Dixon. The other one's Prang. I've got this watercolor set. When you're done with your watercolors, you can always clean them out. Let me show you how I clean mine real quick. I just take my paintbrush with a little bit of water on it and I dab, and look, I'm getting it cleaned out because I mix and I'm very messy. So loading your brush. When you load a paintbrush, like this in soft paintbrushes work really well for watercolor paint because they just move around more on your paper. You never ever want to be up in the silver area. When you have paint up in here, that doesn't make sense to Miss Meyer.
And it ruins the paintbrush.
And it ruins the paintbrush. But you know what? It's okay if it, yeah, because like I can show you some that, this is one that I took from my art studio. You can see that it's got paint everywhere. It's a smaller, it's a harder brush. This is not good for this assignment. And remember, you don't have to paint in the lines. Here's another one. This is softer. I love the square brush because I feel like I have more control when I'm like actually lining things up. But you never want to put paint more than halfway on your paintbrush. Does that make sense? Good morning, Lucy, Kelly. Good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Oh, hi, guys. Can you show the finished product from time to time? Absolutely. Yes, I can. Now, Mrs. Leonard, we are not gonna, and Ethan and Keely, we are not going to get to that finished product today, but I'll give you like, you know, hey, do a dark color here, do a light color here, and I will show the finished product. But today at the end of painting, we're gonna actually let these dry because a lot of you are gonna use paper where it's gonna curl. So here's our finished product. Just to show you real quick, I'm zooming out. We won't even get to this today because we're gonna have to cut all this out and we're gonna have to collage it on. So this is kind of our finished product today. And I really would like for you guys to think, you know, outside the box. Remember, my whole thing is choice. We're doing kind of like the same thing, but you can choose colors that will make this uniquely yours. And so when I pulled from his, look at this one. Look at this bird right here. Totally different. This is a Pete Cromer bird too, where it's kind of like a monochromatic color scheme. So you can have colors on top of colors. So don't say to yourself, oh my gosh, well, Miss Meyer, you know, used that and I'm using this. Good. Use a different color. Go for it. You know, this is all about you and what you want to do. And remember, you know, he's had some really successful birds that have darks in them. This is more of a neutral based. We're not going to do more of a neutral base. We're going to do more of a color based bird. And you can see that, you know, this is a monochromatic color scheme right here that he's done. And he probably doesn't even know that. And then this one's more of like a triad or a analogous color scheme. So when we're working on these today, if your colors don't match mine, that's the best thing that I could ever tell you. You're doing it right. Because remember, our whole thing is that we don't want our artwork to look the same. We just don't, because we're all unique and we're all different. So loading the brush on this one, with your watercolor, you kind of want to get your watercolors wet a little bit. So let's go ahead and start with our, let's start light first. So I'm going to see if I can put this in here. I'm dipping my paintbrush in the water. I'm kind of wiping it off, but it's not going to drip. And then I'm going to put it in my yellow and I'm going to mix it around in my yellow, keeping it on its tippy toes. That's what I say, tippy toes. It's on its tip. I never want to go like this. Look, this is the no. Watch, dipping it in, scrubbing it in there. This is so wrong. Oh my gosh. You can't see that? Okay, look, this is not what I want to see. If you're doing this, no. You stay on your tips, you rub around, and then you can even have your paper towel with you, and you could dab a little on there just to do a check. And I want this a little bit wet because we're going to be mixing, so I'm going to go back through, do another check. That's a little runny, great. And you're just going to start at the top, and you're just going to do a nice coat going across. You don't have to be perfect on this. And moving down, and then I'm just going to pick up some more paint, and again, get some more pigment on there, some more yellow. It does not need to be uniform. You want this to look very, very different. You want different tints and shades of this yellow. So I'm gonna do that about halfway down. I do about 3 or 4 strokes, get it laid on there. I don't really want some white left over. Once I get halfway, I'm gonna put, so once that's halfway through, you gotta kind of work fast on this. I'm gonna put some water in the middle, okay? The reason why I'm putting water in the middle is to soak my paper. If you are using, and then I'm gonna grab my red, and I'm gonna move that over so you can see. And now I'm gonna add my red in. Oh, and I'm gonna mix over that water, and hopefully that will make an orange look, and I'm gonna go down a little bit on my yellow. I am not pushing down on my paintbrush. I'm standing it up on its tip, and then now I'm adding a little bit of water in there, and then I'm just gonna pull it down. And again, I'm going over. Oh, look, I love what that made right there. I'm going to keep that puddle of red there because I want it to have a different feel. So that got a lot more pigment of red there, and I'm just going to keep it there, and you don't have to stain your lines. Again, we're going to be cutting all of this out later. So I'm just going to make that go red down to there. And again, different values of red, lights and darks. And, you know, I might even go back through at the bottom and just add some more red. And, ooh, look at that. That's really pretty. And then I might add some yellow on top of that just to mix in that yellow to create some fun orange a little bit more lower. And just go back through. And that should be one wash. Now, listen, if you're using copy paper, you're going to have to do a wash at a time. And really be careful to kind of like lay your brush down and not have it sit on there. And so I'm going to take some of that red and bring it up. Oh, look at this. This is my second coat. Up into that yellow. And then I'm going to go and add some yellow on top of that red. Ooh, look at that gorgeous orange that I've created. And, you know, just playing around. This is just like a piece of art in itself. Just have fun with it. And if you feel like you've had too much red, just add more yellow in. And then you could always take your paper towel and dab a section if you feel like it's getting too wet. Now, we said to get some salt. So if you have your salt, we could do our monochromatic one in salt.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be really awesome. So I'm going to get some salt real quick. Isn't that cute? And that is just like a really easy way to make your analogous color scheme where you're using 2 primary colors, red and yellow, to make orange. And you're just kind of mixing it in. And you could even add some yellow. Watch this. You could even add some yellow in here. Why not? Pretty. And again, we're going to be cutting these out. So these are extras for our piece. So I kind of like where it sits and it puddles there. I think that's really pretty. So I'm going to zoom that in so you can kind of see. That is our monochrome, or that's our analogous or analogous, whatever you want to say. I've got my Corona salt. I think that's hilarious. I pulled that out of the shelf for this. All right. So, again, this is our finished product. And really, oh, it's telling me to rotate. Why is it telling me to rotate? There we go. This is our finished product again, right here. And right now, we're just making extras in case we need them. If we don't have enough of these, or if we cut one out and we goof up a cut, this is what we're doing right now. We're actually just making extra paint. So we might not even use these, but it's giving us a good lesson on how to create this. And if I get paint on other parts of my paper, who cares? It doesn't matter. That's the part of this. Okay, so now that's the warm. Warm colors make you feel happy. They
make you feel hungry.
They make you feel hungry.
That's
Yep,
what
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
There you go. Yes, say that, Lindsay. Warm colors do make you hungry.
Colors can make you feel things, even if you don't know it. So McDonald's, their colors are red and yellow, which are warm colors, and then that somehow sends a message to your brain to tell you that you're hungry and you should go to McDonald's.
Isn't that crazy? So here's Lindsay's. Look how different hers is from mine, but just as beautiful, just as gorgeous. So there you go. We've got our warm section done. Now we're going to do a cool section. So if your water is muddy...
No, I said you should do it with the markers.
Not right now, Mom. If anybody wants me to show you with the markers, let me know. Okay, if anyone's using markers, let me know. All right. Oh, okay. If anybody needs one with the markers, let me know, and I will help you. All right. So, sorry, I'm fixing this. All right. So now we're going to do cool. So again, now believe it or not, or actually this is, yeah. All right. Hi, Mrs. Spencer. How you doing? All right. So now we're going to start with our yellow, and yellow is a warm color, but we're going to mix it with green, blue. So we're going to start with our yellow. Again, going across. Now look, when I'm painting, I'm not shoving down. I never feel this on my paint or on my paper. If I'm scrubbing that hard, I need more water. You kind of want it to glide across the top of that paper and just kind of sit on there. And again, we're just going to start with yellow halfway down. And then we're going to mix it with blue to create green. I hope you all know that, because yellow is a primary, blue is a primary, and they're going to create a secondary. So there's my yellow. I'm going to add some water in the middle. There we go. And now I'm going to pick up my blue. How fun is this? And just, oh, look at that green coming in. Ooh, that's fun. And I'm just swirling my brush around, and look at that, how that creates a fun green blue. And I can even add some more yellow on top of there. I've got a lot of water in my palette right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and play with that. Look how cool that is. Now I'm going to go ahead and put some blue down below. Very cool. Again, adding more water. Again, we want this wash to be pretty watery. If it goes on your other part, no big deal. Again, we are not worried about lines because we're going to cut these out at the end. I'm going to fill this in blue at the bottom, dark. All right. And now this is like magic, you know. It's so cool when we mix colors like this. And then I'm going to actually put some yellow in there again to create this fun green. Awesome. And again, you want different values. You want that dark against the light. That's what makes this really painterly and beautiful at the end. So you want different values. Again, if you're using copy paper, you might have a problem with putting this much paint on yours. So if you do, ooh, look at that. That's kind of neat.
Oh, that is neat.
Right there, I'm going to leave that. That's kind of cool. If you are having problems, you know, dip the water off there. Do not, I cannot stress this enough. Do not scrape on your paper, especially if you are using a copy paper. And when we get done with this, good morning, Mrs. Billman. Good morning, Mrs. King. Good morning, Sia. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of people watching today.
Oh, hi.
Awesome. Hi, guys. So this is just gorgeous right here. So we've got a warm section. We've got kind of a cool section. Again, the yellow takes away the cool, but it's still analogous or analogous. And again, I say analogous. A lot of people say analogous. It's however you were just brought up, like potato, potato. Now, I want you to pick your favorite color, okay? Pick your favorite color. And it can be, but black, brown, gray, tan, and white are not colors. Those are neutrals. And I don't care if you pick a secondary color. I don't care if you can pick any of the Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, or purple. Okay, so now, Lindsay, on the salt painting, we just put the salt down first, right? What do we do?
You paint it and then you put the salt.
Oh, that's right. Gosh, I have not salt painted in a long time. So my color I'm going to use a red, and I'm going to actually mix in a little bit of purple in it to make it a purpley red. So I'm going to take my purple, watch here, and I go up in this top part, and this is where you mix. So I take my purple, and I'm mixing, and I'm pulling my purple out. If you want to mix like a blue, and I'm going to actually put a little blue in that purple. Ooh, that's pretty. And then I'm going to actually put a little bit of red in that. I want to make it like a red violet. Ooh, that's pretty. Now, I need to make enough to paint that whole entire section. All right, so that's where you mix up in here. So again, whatever color you choose, and just start painting it. Oh, look how pretty that is. I wanted some dark. Now, if you want dark and you don't want, purple, you could always do a blue, and you could always just intensify. So how do I intensify? I just use the pure pigment. So I just picked up pure pigment, and look, I've made that very dark. Now, I can put salt on top of it, like that, and then paint on top of it, and you can see that the salt is bubbling, and it will make it look like dotted, or there we go. There's some salt on there, and it'll give it some texture. All right, so there's my salt on there. And then now I'm gonna go through and add more, and again, lighten it up. There we go. Add some salt.
Oh, I love this color I made.
Which color did you make? Oh, like a blue. Beautiful.
Purple.
Yep. And again, you're trying to have lights and darks for this. So there you go. This is the monochromatic one, where you're trying to do light values. So I might do a light wash here, and then really darken up my pigment at the bottom. Right there. Oh, look at that. That's gorgeous. I love that deep purple. And add a little water. There we go. Perfect. And then I can even take there we go. Beautiful. And the salt kind of just crystallizes it. It looks really pretty. If you want to try that, you can. Okay, so I've got this deep purple. Now, oh, look, I spilled over here. That's okay. That's life. I won't have to use that later. No big deal. It's all right. Because really, to try to get that off, you'd have to sit there and dump off if you wanted to, and I'd have to add more red to that, and I'd have to clean out my red. Oh, there we go. But I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just put a little red on top of it and see what happens. Now, your cups should look dirty gross. So guess what? You're going to have to clean out your cups. So real quick, I'm going to take and do a clean break real quick with the cups. So all of you need to clean your cups out. You don't want to muddy your color too much. If you muddy your color too much, then you're going to have problems. So now I have a clean cup with paint. Now that I'm done with my purple, I am going to clean this off because I like my tray to stay as clean as it can. If you don't clean that off right now, you'll have issues later. This can pull out before we start moving on to our next part. But, as an artist, you kind of clean as you go. Just like cooking, you clean as you go. And then I'm going to clean out my yellow a little bit. There's some water already in there, so I'm just pulling it out. All right. And I'm just kind of cleaning up my area a little bit. I got some paint on there. That's good enough. All right. So now we're going to just take our paper and we're going to turn it upside down because we've already painted that area. And again, that's for later. And trust me, you're probably like, gosh, that's really dark. So now, we are going to do this. This is the only time I'm telling you what we're doing, but what color do you want your bird? You got to think right now. Hi, Mr. Krantz. What color do you want your bird? And I will do one with markers. Okay, we don't have a blue marker though, do we? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so for me, I made my bird bird. Gosh, boy, Miss Meyer, can you talk today? I made my original bird rainbow. And I'm not going to do that for my next one. I'm going to make it probably, I don't know yet what I'm going to do for my bird. Okay, so let's start over here with this big one. And I'm going to go ahead and do one with a marker. So I'm going to take red and purple. Again, what we used before. So I'm going to dip my marker in my paint. You can see that the red's already starting there. And I'm going to actually just go ahead and take that marker. And every time I put it in there, I'm going to dip, dip, dip. And it actually turns it into more painterly feeling. And it makes it softer looking. And so on this one, you could use a darker color or medium dark color. And you can use red if you want to. And then you're going to mix it again. Half, red if you want. And then look, I'm going to do a little bit of purple on the bottom and kind of mix it in. And then actually just paint with my marker. There we go. Oh, that's turning out pretty good. And then add more water and kind of, just dab it around. Again, you do not need to go in your lines, and you want to see your pencil there pretty well. And that's kind of pretty. Ooh, I like what that's kind of doing there on that edge where it's doing that little dot, dot, dot. So I'm going to go back over and just add some red. Again, the water should feel pretty heavy. There we go. And there's one with markers, just really pretty, different looking. Kind of did a little pointillism dots on there because I don't want to rub too much on my paper. I'm going to rip my paper. And then I can just take my paintbrush and smooth it out a little bit.
Oh, I like how it has like that bald spot.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And then let that dry. Now, I can pat it again with my paper towel if I want to. But there we go to get some of that water off there. And you can see some of that water's coming off like that. There's my water that's coming up. Okay? All right. So, you can do blue on there. You can do whatever color you want. I encourage you to use just all different kinds of fun colors, okay? So like on this one, I'm gonna use green. And you guys can use green, or you can use, just kind of get close to what colors I'm doing. You could do a green blue there. You could do a green yellow. I'm gonna use a yellow green. I'm gonna use green for my base, like this. And then I'm just gonna fill that in and leave a little bit of white. I'm gonna clean off my paintbrush and get that green off. See that? Now watch. I'm going to take my yellow and I'm going to dot it in the middle and just let it fill up with the yellow in the middle. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. And each one of these is kind of like a little individual masterpiece. And, they look really weird right now because we're not doing a smooth line. We're not worried about the lines, but trust me, at the end, they'll be cut out and they'll be gorgeous from your cuts. And you won't see all of that. And it'll look really painterly and it'll look really pretty. So the final one, right here, we're doing these big, the big ones are for the headpiece. So this one right here will be probably this one on my final, okay? And any color goes.
I love watercolor.
Any color goes. And so you can just have a blast with this. And you could use monochromatic color schemes, like his one pink bird. Remember that, Lindsay? Mm-hmm. Oh, look at Lindsay's right now. This is gorgeous, Lindsay.
It's very wet, so be careful.
Uh-huh. So here's Lindsay's. And be careful when you're showing people your work, too, that you don't lift it up because your watercolor will dip down. And there's her salt painting right there. Really pretty. If you want to add salt to yours, you can. If on any of these you want to add your salts, you can. So These circles that we're doing right here are just the circles that we're adding to extras. So, you know, I did lots of red on that one. You can choose a color that you want for your circles. I'm gonna go ahead and keep my red again. And again, I'm gonna just pick up a little bit of red, dab it on there. Now watch, as I dab this on like that, I can just take this and take my, look at that. Look at how much pigment came off there. Isn't that crazy? Dab it on there and I can add a little bit of water and then I can just dab it again. And then I can actually add a little bit more pure pigment around the side just to make it look like it has different values in that small circle right there. Isn't that pretty? Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning, everyone. So right here, I'm gonna make this kind of like a blue, but I'm gonna try to make it a light blue. So when I wanna make something a light blue, I'm gonna add a lot of water to my tray. So look, I'm just dumping water in there to make a light blue wash like that. And then I can actually, you know, check it out. That's not light blue. So I need to add more water to it to make it lighter. So I'm gonna, there we go. That's a lot lighter. So I'm just gonna make this a very light blue. And you could do 2 washes of this if you wanted to. If it looks way too light for you on the beginning, again, you could add another wash to that. So now look, that's becoming like a light blue. And I can even dab that off and make it even lighter. Again, don't be freaked out if it doesn't look really pretty right now, because this is not what it's gonna look like at the end, promise you. Now, I think for your bigger ones, you know, what this is gonna be a bigger one that's gonna go on the top of the head right here. So for this one, I'm gonna make this one really dark because I have a dark one right here. So I'm gonna make it really dark. So whatever you kind of want that one to be right here, you can do that. So I am gonna take blue and I am gonna mix it with my black and I'm gonna make a navy. And so by making it black and blue, ooh, look at that. That's a cool shade. So taking black, and I'm not worried about staying in my lines at all. I just wanna use them as guides. So again, taking my black and my blue, mixing it some more and making a shade. Look how pretty that is. And then maybe taking some of that pure blue and it's gonna have a little black in it. Ooh, look at that, pretty, pretty. And then I might even add some more blue on top just to make that fun. Ooh, pretty. And I might just wanna pull off a little bit in some area. Look at that. When you just pull off a little bit, look what happens. Very pretty. So that's a blacky blue right there, or a shade of blue. Gorgeous, I love it. And these are gonna have to dry overnight, and especially if you're using copy paper, I wouldn't touch these for like 2 hours. I'd keep them where they are, not touch them for 2 hours, and literally, oh, that's pretty, Lindsay, and literally just let them sit. And they're gonna crumble up or they're gonna fold up and things like that. Then overnight, I would take books and put books on top of them and get them to flatten out. So let's go through now, and then this is gonna be your next headpiece. You know, I did this one, so I've done this one, this one. So, you know, what would you want here? I'm gonna do a purple one like I did on my other ones, so I'm just gonna take my purple, and then I might even add some blue in that and make some blue violet. Ooh, look at that purple, pretty. Add that, some more purple here. Beautiful, and I'm gonna add some blue in the middle. Again, keeping my paintbrush up. Beautiful, look at that, and add some water. Now I'm just going back to my water here, look, to kind of like thin that out and have a different kind of look. Beautiful. And that's done there. Beautiful, beautiful. These are looking so pretty, guys. I'm sure you guys are probably like, this is a hot mess, Miss Meyer. What are you talking about?
Watercolor is so fun.
It is fun. You guys, you can cut out and use, that's why we made these 3 extra squares or rectangles down below, so that we have extras. If like you goof on this one and cut it out wrong, well then we've got that deep purple down there to take care of that. Or if you goof on this blue, we've got some blue down there to take care of that. So if you cut them out wrong, we've got extras that you can use so that if you do goof, you can fix it. All right, and Lindsay's doing some salt painting. She's doing some dots. I want to show you hers real quick. And then, so now you got to think about, you know, what do you want for your head of your bird? That's beautiful. And if you guys don't know, who cares? Just have fun with it. That's beautiful, Lindsay. So I'm going to do kind of a lighter color here. I'm going to use my blue and my green. So I'm going to start out with my green. Just do some light green. Again, placing that on there lightly. I did blue before on my other one, but I'm going to use some light green. Now I'm going to go back and get some water. Ooh, look at that, and just blend that and make it very light and airy. And this is like the lighter end of your value scale. So this is, you know, I'm trying to do a lighter version of that green. There we go. And then I might add some blue in, but I'm going to dip my blue in my water first. So I take my blue. I'm going to zoom this out a little bit. There we go. Oh, sorry. Hold on just a second. Uh-oh. I lost my malfunction.
You want me to help?
No, I got it. There we go. Thank you, Lindsay. So, sorry about that. I was going to pull this out so you could see my water. My water's kind of getting dirty.
Do you want me to switch them out?
Not yet, because that's all right, because I'm using dark. So, I take my blue, I dip it in my water first, I kind of glide it down, and then now I add it, and look, it's still pretty dark when I do that. But I'm going to layer that over my green, and this is my second wash. So again, it's going to be darker because you're laying on your second wash. Like girls know about nail polish, second coat's always better. Now I'm just going back to my water to kind of blend that in. And
Water's
again,
your best friend with watercolor.
yes. And then as I go through, I can just add more water if I want to mix those colors a little bit more. And then if I want to darken it up in one area, I could do that. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, Lindsay, go ahead and clean up that water for me, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, love. Lindsay's going to clean out the water this time for us. So you can see, you know, I've got this really dark blue here, which is, you know, very nice. And that's going to offer a shadow for me. And then I've got some mid-tones. And then I've got a light value there. And again, we just cleaned out our water. And I've already used, on my project today, 1, 2 paper towels. And I'm on my 3rd right now. I use a lot of paper towels when I'm creating art. All right, so in this one right here, again, I would get some light tones. These are gonna be for your in-between. So if we've got all this dark, heavy stuff, we want some light in between. I've dumped some blue on there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take my blue, put it in my paint, put it in the paint, put it in the water, slide it on, and make it a lighter blue, like that. And again, if you go outside of your pencil lines, who cares? We're cutting these out. And I'm just gonna let that sit. And will you hand me some salt, Lindsay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And I just want this to be a little bit lighter. And I'm gonna just put a little salt on there. And I'm gonna just dab it up a little bit. Good. So lighter there. So we're gonna do some lighter ones on this, and like I put blue paint there, so that's gonna have to be darker. So on this one, I'm gonna create a light purple. So I'm just gonna take a purple, dump it in my water first. I can even check it on my paper towel. Look how dark that is. That's way too dark still. So, and that's still way too dark. So now I'm kind of getting the purple that I want. Now I've got my light purple, and I need some light there. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of, let's add a little bit of red to that. And again, dump it in the water first, check it out over here, and then now add my red. That's kind of pretty. That's real pretty. There we go. And again, you want different values in each one of these. These are like little pieces of masterpieces that you're doing on each one of these. These are just little baby masterpieces. And that's what makes this piece of art so beautiful, is that, you know, each one of these pieces is like its own masterpiece, and it's beautiful. And then on here, again, let's do some light. So whatever you want light there, remember a light value, not meaning you have to use a light color. So maybe I've got purple, my darkest, and I'm just gonna add some more purple. Now look how dark that is, too dark. So I'm gonna pick it up. Look how light that is now. You can dab it off and you can add more water. Perfect. Perfect. And remember, don't be afraid to dab. And look, voila, perfect. And even though that looks a little weird right now, trust me, when you cut it out, it's gorgeous. See this? when you cut them out, all that variation, like from here where I've got my dark pink and my light pink, that you wouldn't think is really pretty, and you know, I've got my green and blue together that you don't normally think is pretty, and look where I've put the texture there on that purple. It's definitely very, very pretty when you put those together, especially lights with darks. Now this one I kind of goofed up on, but I'm not gonna waste it. Why? I drew it, why not do it? So, why not green? Let's see if green will go over it. And I'm gonna use a pretty strong pigment of green to cover up my mistakes. There we go. It's covered. And then maybe after I'm done with that green, I'm gonna go through and add some blue. There we go. Perfect. Darken that up. And I'm just gonna let that sit and just explore the paper and move itself and just kind of make its own kind of blending right there without me doing anything else to it. Trust me, the more you kind of let some of these sit on top of them, so there's two different ways. There's, I just cleaned my water again. There's, you know, the dabbing method, or you can go ahead and lay color on top of each other. So, let me see yours, Lindsay. That looks really pretty. So Lindsay's got hers going on right there. Beautiful. That's really pretty. I love that green and the yellow. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, guys, so let's continue on. Now, we will only get done with this page today, and then we'll work on the next page tomorrow. That's okay. Remember, good art takes time.
So with the salt, once you put it on your paper and you leave it, if you guys can see that, how it has these little dots. That's what the salt does, and I think it's just cool because it gives your art texture.
Sure, and texture is a principle, right? And texture is a principle of design, or an element of art. I'm sorry, element of art. Gosh, oh my gosh. So right here, let's go ahead. We've got a lot of, you know, dark colors right here going on. Let's go ahead and get some lighter colors going on. So let's just go and grab some yellow. We don't have very much yellow. Now, if you want to do yours monochromatic, you know, that's okay, but we're playing with colors, so I wouldn't really do yours monochromatic. You know, I would do one section monochromatic. And then up here, maybe let's go ahead and add some pink. Again, I'm going to grab my red. I'm not squishing it down like this. That's a big no. Look, I've got too much paint on my paintbrush. See that? It's over halfway full. So I'm going to rinse that out. Look how much red I ended up getting on there, and just swipe it. There we go. That's a nice loaded brush. Let me see if I, there we go, right there. Really nice loaded brush. And then I'm just going to swirl that on. And then I want that red to be lighter, almost like a pinkish. So I'm just going to dab. Oh, pretty. And enough. And then I'm going to add a little bit on the bottom to give it a different value.
Oh, I like that one.
And voila. Huh? Oh, that is pretty. Good job, Lindsay. Okay, so as we keep on going on this, you know what? We might want to do one really dark one here. We're going to finish this page up, and then we're going to leave once we're done with this page today. I want you to let this page sit and dry. So I'm going to do black again. I'm going to add a little bit of purple. I'm going to make this one really dark. Ooh, look how dark that is. Wow. I'm going to leave a little spot. Dab, dab, dab. Ooh, put a little pure purple in there. Fun, fun, fun. Do another dab. Awesome. And that will look really pretty. And look, guys, this does not have to be neat, because again, you're going to cut this. So it's a mess around my paper. But you don't need to do, you don't worry about that. How about let's do green with black? Ooh, let's see what happens when we do that. Green. And I said we're going to do light, but we'll do light on the other page. Green. Let's do a little black mixed in there. Ooh, look at that. I'm just going to let that just sit and create its own natural beauty as it's going through. Love it. And then I'm going to do some orange. We haven't used orange at all. You know, orange is not, it's probably my least favorite color. Isn't that horrible? Yes. I'm just not a fan of orange. There's orange, and then I'm going to put a little black in with my orange.
A pale orange.
There we go. Kind of dot that in. I don't know. Orange. Ooh, look at that. I'm going to keep, that's kind of cool. I'm going to keep that going, and maybe a little bit orange on top. Kind of like a pumpkin-y looking orange there. I don't know if I like that. Like I said, orange is not my favorite. That's all right. We all have our favorites. That's what makes us different and unique. That's all right. I've got a piece of hair on my brush. And then over here, let's do that yellow, green, blue again, that analogous color scheme. Yellow, ooh, I love it. Add my blue, ooh, love, love, love. Mix it up. Ooh, pretty. Oh, I love, look at that. That is so cool. That's almost like marbleizing your paper. So if you can zoom in and see that, how that's just so cool. And don't worry about that. If there's some white there, you know, you can always just take your finger and mix it on there, whatever, or cut it smaller. Got it? All right. What are the colorful stripes for? These are just extras. So, Sia, when you're looking at this, babe, this is just for extras right here. So if we goof on one of these and we cut one of these out wrong, we have something to use. So we're not going, oh my gosh, I ruined this. Now my whole project's ruined. I don't have anything I can do. Well, no, you do, because now we've got these for extras. So these are just extras for us to have for later on, okay, if we goof. And one last one, let's just do a greeny yellow. Oh, I love that. Look, I mixed it there in my palette. Ooh, pretty. It almost looks like a, oh, I don't know what that looks like. But you know what? I'm going to get that green out of there. I don't want that in my, oh gosh, sorry. I don't want that in my yellow. And my paint water is getting quite dirty. So I'm gonna mix that again. I'm gonna add some yellow on top, see if that yellow will take hold. And then, so now listen, for this tonight, I don't want you guys to touch these for like an hour. Let them sit where they are. Don't touch them. Don't show them to anyone. Don't go, oh, look what I did, because it'll run and you'll be sad. Also, if you're using copy paper, it's going to need some time to just relax. And again, you know, I'm going to clean this out after I'm done and clean out my paintbrush really well and store my paintbrush upright. You never want to store a paintbrush like this, because you're teaching the brush to sit like this and it ruins it. So you always want to clean a paintbrush out, and then when you're done, point it straight up like this and let it dry out without having any pressure on it. Because look, that would not be fun to pick up a brush and draw with a brush like that, or paint with a brush like that. And that's what happens when you store paintbrushes in your water overnight. You want to keep them nice and neat and cleaned out like that and stored just like that. That's how you keep a paintbrush nice and neat. So today, in about 2 hours, or whenever you feel like this is actually dry to the touch, you're gonna put books on this so it will flatten it out. If it's not flattened out, you're gonna have a hard time gluing this down onto paper and keeping it nice and neat. Like right now, if you look at my paper, I don't really wanna turn it right now but you can see it's lifting on the edge here. It's curving here. Let me show you what's going on. See, let me show you. See how it's like lifting up on the sides right there? We don't want that to happen. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna let that dry for about, oh, I'd say, like I said, 2 hours. Then you're gonna get some books, or, you know, I use my dog food and my cat food, wet food for that. And what I do is I actually just like push it down on top of the piece of art so that it will all smooth itself out. So tomorrow we'll paint our next page, and then we'll start cutting next week. So, oh my gosh, we're doing so well on this. And again, this is what we're trying to create right here. And hopefully, yeah, this is the Cromer piece of art that we're inspired by. And again, this is our own inspiration, and I cannot wait to see your finished products. We will see you tomorrow.
Have a great day.
Have a great day. Happy birthday, Laura, again, and love you all. And as always, keep art in your heart, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye. We love you.